And you have to realize that the greatest way to make the money you want to make is you got to solve a great problem. When I created this thing from scratch, I created it within the realm of what I knew I could do and do well.
I mean, I think every job you should work, it should be not just money, you should be learning something. I'm not working a job anywhere unless I'm learning something.
Right.
It has to work or it has to work.
Welcome to Circle of Greatness. I'm your host, Nehemiah Davis, and today I got a super special episode coming your way. I get to bring in somebody where what I want to say, everybody needs her. Sonia, the student loan doctor, y'all. She's been a friend forever, been a client forever, and I'm so excited to just hear the story and just hear how she's crushing it and helping people figure out their loan situation. So without further ado, Sonia, what's up?
I'm excited to be here.
How long we been together now? How long?
I know.
7 years?
Let's see. Is it 7? I know I gave you my last $100 that day. Let me see. Okay, so 2015.
2015.
Yeah,
wow.
so really,
so
it's
years.
yeah.
Wow.
We're going on like 9.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm glad
Yo,
we're
time
here.
is moving. Yeah, me too. I'm glad we're here. So just to give some perspective, I used to do something called Boardroom Bosses.
Yes.
And Sonia came to one of the days. It was like $100 for somebody to come. It was like
was it 100? No, I got it on 100, boy.
Okay, 100.
Then it went to 150.
Then it went to 150.
2
Then
weeks later.
300. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like $150, and it's funny because
Yeah.
I share the story sometimes, and it was like $150, and Sonia overdrafted
Yes,
her
I did.
account to be there. And y'all, when she came there, I knew she was in school to be a doctor, right?
Yeah.
You were in school to be a
Yeah.
doctor, so I put on your
It said
name
doctor.
tag, Dr. Student,
Yeah.
Dr.
You
Sonia
just said doctor.
Lewis.
Remember, I had no business.
Yeah, I know. You didn't
Yeah.
have, so Dr. Sonia. And you was like, why? I'm like, well, I knew you want to be a doctor, so I just speak those things that are not as they are. And fast forward, I don't even know if you still in school. You still in school for that?
So I ended with an EDS.
Okay.
And then I have received the honorary doctoral degree. So it really did come to fruition.
It came
Yeah.
through it. But what I always like to tell people is you became the student loan doctor.
We did still use the title.
Yeah, which is crazy because you hit me up, and that's why I tell people, y'all, I think it's important to get wise counsel, but also think when you know something is right in your heart of hearts, you go with it. Because I tell Sonia was like, I think I found out like a few weeks later, I'm gonna help people with student loans. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And then she ended up doing it, y'all, and she built a big business, leading authority online when it comes to student loans. Let me ask you, during that time, what was going through your mind where you said, I'm going to start me a student loan doctor?
Well, let's back up. I got to tell the people how I found you.
Yeah.
It was a great accident.
Okay.
So everybody was talking about a man named Eric Thomas coming to the city.
Yeah.
Now, this is right when I made my decision. I wanted more professional development. And when I found you, I just knew I wanted more, right? But I didn't know what more meant. I just was like, it seemed like he got it. I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
So I remember being so impressed. And I'm always that like deep internal thinker, like, well, who is this young man to bring this man who had an impact on my life? Eric Thomas that day had said something that really freed me. I don't want to repeat it because it could offend a family member. But whatever he said that day, I know what he said.
Yeah.
It gave me such freedom. And I was just like, oh, like this is like one of those things where you have to really look at how did he get Eric Thomas into this space.
Yeah.
So then I started looking into you more. Maybe I use Instagram. I'm not really sure what I used. And then I started noticing that you had your own vision and brand you were creating. I don't know if you had clarity yet, but you were just in movement.
So. Yeah, I was moving.
So I didn't have no money. Now let's establish that, y'all. Like, this ain't that. This is, and I was like, but I've got time. And I was like, and I know my brain power. And remember I said it to you?
Yep.
And shout out to Mama Myra. She pulled me aside. She said, who sent you?
Yeah.
I said, the Lord. I don't know. I don't know how I answered. I know we laughed. And I said, well, I just want to help out. I said, if I can volunteer. Remember I said this to you? But at the time, you kept things so tight. We had like a team of 4.
Yeah, not even Davita and Richie, I think.
No, Davita wasn't right yet.
Oh, it was just Richie then.
Davina and I came around the same time.
Okay.
No, Richie. I'm talking about Tamika.
Oh, wow. I didn't have my virtual assistant yet?
No.
Wow, okay.
It was Vina, your mom,
and Tamika.
This is the core. This is the table.
Yeah.
Remember we met at the Urban Art Gallery?
Yeah.
And then I walked in. I know I remember the room.
Yep.
Davita wasn't there yet. And then we I sat down. It was like a meeting of the mind. You was like, I'm trying to. You explained your vision. Then I started sharing. And so it was like grassroots efforts.
Yeah.
And then you took on the biggest conference of your life at that time.
At that time,
remember?
I remember ET
you brought
conference.
No. This is after ET.
After the Massey with Inky.
Yeah.
Because I did the ET one first. Yeah, that was it. And the ET one was my first big one.
And we filled it. Yep. Well, I didn't say we. I wasn't part of that. You
250 people. I remember it like it was yesterday.
And then you said, I think, and that was part of this part. You said, I think we can fill.
Yeah.
And you was like, I'm going after Massey.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I learned about you in this process. I was like, oh, he really can do anything he says he's going to do. Because remember, I don't know if the people, you ain't had no money either.
Right, so, you're doing right.
And she had a fee.
Yes.
She was one of the first people that hit you with a fee.
Yeah, after ET.
After ET, right, but like a fee. Remember, her fee was feeing.
Fee, yeah, that's a fact. Flights, and hotels.
Everything.
Yeah.
That was like your first professional, I remember.
Yeah.
And I think you had got your suit tailored, right? Why I remember these
Bringing
details.
Me back.
I know.
Yeah.
I only remember these details because it was such a stretch to make it look like your vision.
Yeah.
And I remember everybody around you, we drunk the juice, the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I was like, it's got to be this way. Yeah. So, if we had another time for another episode, we could really, and I just think that you should do this with some people. People really need to know that you are the example of grinding from the bottom. Now, I don't remember, I wasn't there for the food cards. So I came after that, y'all. I had the chance to see this version of you, but at starting number 1.
Yep.
And then only went up from this point to be the entrepreneur and this is where it changed, that wanted to help other entrepreneurs. It was birthed in that year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's powerful. It's crazy. I remember all of that stuff now. And when you think about it, it's so funny. Most people don't remember about the grind and how much effort people put in. I literally tell this. I'd probably tell this story every 6 months just about you. I was like, yo, listen, I remember me and Sonia had a target. Her target was $300 a day. She couldn't go to sleep until the target was hit. And it wasn't if she don't hit it, it had to be hit. And most people don't. They don't have it in them where it really has to work. And I'll tell the story. I'm like, yo, Sonia's last call be like at 11 o'clock at night. And I'll be like, when I'm talking to people, ask me why. I'm like, why? Because it was only her last call is at 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I get it mixed up. But moral of the story is the reason why she took a call that late because it's 3-hour difference in LA. So that's her LA client.
It went to midnight at one point because it was there at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So it was midnight. So it was 9 o'clock.
Their time,
right? Mm-hmm. But it's midnight here where most people sleep. And she did that for a year straight. She or longer showed up to people's events for a year or 2 straight, just showing up.
I mean, now I will give myself flowers. I showed up in that year, and I put in what type of equity you want to call that? I was at
event equity, relationship.
I remember
equity.
You snapped on somebody. We gonna say who? She show up to everything. And you was like, you can't even make that. And I was like, well, that's true. I did show. Because, see, people forget that other people needed support.
100%.
And not to be funny, I showed up for 2 reasons. One, I knew what I knew about me, what that was going to happen in, let's say, more like 17. So 16, I was at everybody's stuff. Because what I realized is the power of relationships. You need everybody at your stuff, right?
100%.
And at this time, you figure everybody had an event almost every weekend for $20 or $25, right? So now you just got a budget for that.
Yep.
But we had to be there. You would come by, maybe you didn't stay too long.
Yep.
At certain points you couldn't, but we were there and people felt the presence.
100%. But I think I'm happy we talk. People got to know the grind and what it really takes. Like some people think you just gonna pop up now and just it's up.
I hate the instant success that people think you should have.
Yeah.
The problem with right now, and I know people that follow you, follow me, I'm like, man, I wish I did a better job of videoing and taking photos at that time.
Shit,
well, we were too in the grind to think about what this could have been.
Yep.
We were just trying to make sure we hit the $300 or whatever. Yep. What was yours? You remember yours? Mine was $300 a day for sure. Because I had factored in at that point, I needed to take care of myself, my health insurance, and my first employee.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Miss Carolyn.
Yeah, Miss Carol, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she retired with us about 2 years ago.
Wow. Oh, she retired.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember that. Just Yeah. But let me ask, what made you at the time think of that from that day, call me 3 weeks later, I think I got it, student loans?
So I met a young lady named Natalie, shout out to her, the business doctor, and we had so much in common.
Yep.
And I asked her, and people don't do this, and this is why her and I solid to this day. I called her. I said, I really love how you capitalized on the business doctor. We were in the same schooling program. It was crazy. I said, do you mind if I call myself the student loan doctor? It's not in relationship to what you do, but I didn't want to leave your event inspired and not give you those flowers and ask.
That's nice.
She said, wow, nobody ever asked me before they did it. I wanted to have what's called integrity.
Yeah, 100%.
So she said, go ahead. And then I called you coming back from DC. I remember the drive. And I was like rattling off, right? And this true story, Neil was like, nah, I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah.
And I remember I was so convicted. I said, I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to hang up on your mentor.
100%.
But you called back in an hour. You was like, yo, everybody has student loans. I said, now he's back.
Yep, I was one of them.
And you have to realize that the greatest way to make the money you want to make is you got to solve a great problem. And then when we thought about it, I was like, ain't nobody solving the problem.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to solve the problem in my own way, if that makes sense.
And you really built that thing from scratch.
From the ground.
So at the time, the business model was helping people get on payment plans, helping them, because we were ignoring them. Like people just like,
I just wanted
student loan doctor, you shoving it under the thing and you never even looking at it again.
People didn't talk to me on my platform for a year. That would kill people who want instant success right now. And I'm the only child, so I talk to myself anyway. Yeah. So I was just talking to me online. And then one day, I never forget, I posted a question and said, if you don't mind, can you guys tell me how much student loan debt you have? It went viral in that time, and over like hundreds of comments and moments. And I was like, oh, they were watching. They just never talked to me. But now we made it a safe space, and I set the tone for my culture. Even now to this day, if I'm in a class and I say, guys, tell me how much you have. And I say, and before you guys start, if anyone shames anyone, you will lose a Zoom connection. Like, we don't even play that in the Zoom room. Because I don't want somebody to put, I owe $500,000. It could be a doctor.
Like, dang.
What you doing? What you must be a doctor. You know, I don't know if they are or they aren't.
Yeah.
So if I set the tone, it's safe, and then they'll come back.
Yeah, that's good. And I think it's just, because student loan debt is crazy. Like, what's going on now in these current times? I see people getting,
it's so
some
good
people
for
are,
business.
Yeah, tell me about
Good for the American people, but stressful.
Yeah.
It's in the headlines every week. Yeah. Shout out to the Biden administration. Whatever you even might feel politics-wise, that's not my business. What I tell people is this is the first administration that stood on doing what they could do for student loans.
Trump didn't do that, huh?
No.
Oh. What about Barack in there?
Trump acknowledged in the pandemic that we should put things on pause because this is a burden. I will give that to Trump. Obama was the first president with Biden, let's put it that way, that actually cared to clean up. But that wasn't their fight. He had too much other stuff on his plate, right?
Right.
But Biden picked back up where where Obama's administration left off, which I thought was really amazing. So I will say this: I appreciate the Biden administration doing within the powers that they do. We just had an interview with Secretary Cardona, Secretary of Education. We were like on his first IG Lives the other day. That's like, the president's team don't be IG Live with nobody else. So it was major, right?
I shared that on my social.
I appreciate it. It was good. So here's the kicker. He said, you guys got to remember, he said, I'm up against Congress and people, he said this on live. He said, people in the cabinet that got their loans forgiven through our policies are telling the American people no. I said, ooh, that's crazy. Like, could you imagine them voting no and they just received the forgiveness?
Wow. Yeah.
He was like, he's like, you guys don't know what we're up against behind closed doors. He said that on the live. He said, so all I can do is what I can do in the realm in which I can do it. Yeah. What does that mean? So there's a lot of policies right now that he's cleaning up: public service loan forgiveness, borrower's defense. So the programs that were created in the 1965 Higher Education Act by Lyndon B. Johnson, he's going back and expanding those programs. That doesn't have to go through the Supreme Court or Congress. Yeah. So we got to use and get what we can get.
So let me ask you this question. I just saw something. They said he's going to possibly forgive anything under $12,000.
They just started.
Like, what has been forgiven or what's being forgiven that's just straight up where the government says?
It's so crazy how certain things, they have the rule and manpower to do without approval.
Right.
So they have approval to forgive $12,000 if you had loans for 10 years. That's it.
So if I had loans for at least 10 years right now listening to this.
And you owe no more than $12,000, see?
No more than 12.
That whole thing gets forgiven.
And do I need to call them? That's an automatic. You ain't got to think about it.
No, because they know how to hit a button.
Filter.
So somebody had a good question. But what if I owe 50? Can I still get 12 off?
Right. Yeah. Can you?
No.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22 to some of these.
What if I owe 13? You know what I'm saying? No.
So, I had a lady that had owed 15 with me. I said, you got 3,000? Like, really, can you get your balance under 12 before they start?
That's good.
No, like, that's the type of strategy you got to think about.
That's a good move.
Because they're clear on what button gets. See, you guys got to remember, these are 46 million people that owe student loans. There is literally a button that's being pushed. If you're not registering under owing a certain amount, you're going to just get skipped. That's factual. Like, that's what they admitted it. So if she could make that payment by that certain date, but when they hit the button, literally hit a button, then she'd be fine.
Now, is there any other ones coming up or that happen like that? What happened?
I'm so excited about this. Biden's loan forgiveness program is going to be revamped again within the rules in which they can control. So one of the things was like, we're looking at giving you forgiveness, and we don't know how much, if you had a hardship because of these loans. Everybody at home, raise your hand if you got a hardship.
Right.
And so what they're doing is, and I was like, and I'm gonna say something that sounds funny. I was like, whoever rewrote these new rules, they gotta be black, because I was like, the way I read it in my head.
Right.
So true story.
They
look kind of like a lot of black people.
Right.
So what they did was they actually made, let's be serious here for a second, a formal group to survey and get the opinion of a large representation from those that are a part of the HBCU club, right? The stakeholders so they took about, I think, 15 stakeholders, put them together and made up a list of who should be forgiven.
Wow.
And it was with, I believe, a good minority voice. So I'm excited about it because now this is something, we just don't know how much, though, they're going to give out.
All right. That's good. I mean, mine paid off, but I definitely want as much for our people as possible.
Well, everybody wins.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is that when people don't have to have a student loan on their back for whatever reason, they become better consumers.
Yeah, because
the housing market changes.
Is it true now that, from what I heard this years ago, now they are registering, they're also calculating this to your debt to income ratio?
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
One of the things the administration also did do, shout out to this though, and I shouldn't memorize her name because she's also a soror, shout out to Delta Sigma Theta. She came in under the Biden administration and said, with the view of a black woman, so this was what I appreciate, and said this population, black women, are being held out of the market, the home buying market. The reason is because of their student loans. Let's change the rules. So she now changed the rule that said if your income-driven repayment on your credit report shows that you're paying $100 a month, but truly 1% of what you owe, let's say you have student loans of $100,000. 1% is what?
$1,000. Yeah.
That's what people had to use on paper before. $100 payment means way more house than $1,000 payment.
Yeah.
So that was
wait, say the last part again so I can make sure I register.
So now let's say that same woman has on her credit report that she only owes $100. That's the number that a lender could use versus saying before the rules were we got to calculate 1%.
So just so I'm clear, right now they put on your credit report how much you pay in the payment, and not what you actually. So if I owe $100,000, they're not putting that. They're putting if I pay $100 a month.
Well, no, the $100,000 would show, but remember when they do debt to income ratio, like for student loan purposes, they're looking at the payment amount.
Got it. Okay.
And the payment, whatever it used to say, it didn't even matter. $1,000. They would just automatically say 1%.
Got it.
That's not fair to people because they don't really pay 1%.
Right.
Right. So it's more fair.
Okay.
So now that's the difference of you getting a house in a certain neighborhood. Yeah. I mean, this thing gets deep. I was talking about this before. I was just like, depending on the amount of house you can buy, your neighborhood changes. Your quality of life changes. So somebody that's
your kids' education.
school districts.
Yeah. All that, yeah.
So this is so exciting right now. Yep.
Yeah. What are you telling students who are about to go into college? Like, are you telling them to apply for more scholarships? Like, what are some things?
I really have my conversations more with the parents.
Got it.
I'm not in the schools as much as I used to because there's a lot of work that's outside the school.
Yeah.
So I'm telling mom that's also my client. You see how we get double fold here?
Yep.
So you have children? They'll say, oh, well, I got a child going to high school. No, I said, well, let's have a quick talk. Mm-hmm. They need to be more involved in scholarships and grants.
Yep.
I do something or recommend something I do, but I recommend that parents do something called Scholarship Sunday. In junior year, every Sunday is a portion of time of Scholarship Sunday. Show me, give accountability. What scholarships will you be working on today? What about next week? What do you need? That's a recommendation. Now mom should be thinking about who in her network can help out. See, you got to get real strategic with your kids in this season because the money is there.
Yeah, I heard that. You just got to go apply.
But nobody's applying.
I've never applied for a scholarship.
No,
I'm
scholarship queen.
Yeah.
Do you know my story?
No.
I had no money when I was going to school because my mom got really, really sick. And remember, this is when Philadelphia was even worse or comparable to what it is now, you know, in terms of violence. So I knew I had to get out.
Yeah.
So I would.
Where you end up going?
Bloomsburg.
Bloomsburg. I knew it was one of those
I
states.
got a full ride to Bloomsburg.
Wow.
Plus extra scholarships for book money. Plus extra scholarship. I mean, I had money in college. I had money.
Right.
Because I had so much scholarship
and you probably
money.
what was you selling? Because you was a hustler.
You already know. I had about 3 jobs. Now, what I did was.
Weren't you selling Mary Kay?
Not in college. I was in grad school.
That was grade school?
Grad school.
Oh, grad school. Okay.
In college, I would resell hair.
Okay.
You know, the packs.
Yeah,
I was in the bundles.
Yeah.
Because in Bloomsburg, shout out to Bloomsburg University, they didn't have a lot of stores for black women. Mm-hmm. And my girlfriend would install the hair. So if you go with us, we give you a little discount.
Yeah, yeah.
I
sell you the hair, then we install it.
So I would drive over to Scranton and sell it out the, what's that called? The trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also sell rides home.
Okay.
So remember.
You was Ubering.
Well, I was the first Uber.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, the only way they can get home is if somebody gave them a ride.
Right.
Or took a 6-hour bus ride for $80.
Crazy.
Where for me, you can get with me for $25. Get the music you want to hear.
Yeah.
I had 2 drop-off locations in the city.
Yeah.
If you was plus size, you had to pay a little more or secure the front seat for a little more.
Yo.
Now, I didn't discriminate because I'm plus size.
Yo.
But remember, I got to put 4 other people in the car. It's serious.
Yeah.
But if you a little hippie.
You was filling the car up every weekend?
Every weekend. Every week. Sometimes during the week.
Yeah,
I'm not joking right now.
I know you're not. I never heard that story.
So, because I needed to make money. Oh, you gotta remember, like my mom was very sick. My grandmother was trying to take care of the 3 of us on $40,000. That's like under poverty guidelines.
Yeah.
And we never wanted. Well, I never wanted, God rest her soul, my grandmother to feel bad about having to support us, and I didn't want my mom to feel bad in recovery because we were waiting for stuff to get worked out with the government. It was a lot going on. She was a school teacher. So I had 2 jobs and then the hustle. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and I still had a full ride scholarship. See, that's why I be saying like this. Why, and I think I like this about you.
Full ride scholarship.
Yeah, I don't accept. You are like this too. People with a lot of excuses because I had no space for any.
Right.
Who was going to help?
So right now you're telling me for college student, you literally can go get your school paid for. You just need to go apply. Scholarship Sunday.
You need to apply and apply yourself. Let's talk about that last part.
Yeah.
So that's
the key. Apply yourself. It ain't
this is not the season, Neo, for people to sit and look for money to come to them. The problem with technology this day and age, nobody goes outside anymore.
Right.
So kids are not volunteering. They're not on football teams, right? Remember all the things that we did as our childhood? Have your child go play football. Have them volunteer at the library. Have them volunteer at church. That's not really what people do these days.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to candidates, why should we give your child money? I used to sit on a scholarship committee, so let me give you the answer, the secret here. Organizations, private donors, and schools only want to give money to children that will make their school look better, like ambassadors. Mm-hmm. So you should ask yourself right now, parents, if you're watching, is my child ambassador ready? Does my child go above and beyond? Can we say that my child was the president of the secretary of. If you can't say yes to that, then why would anybody give you money? You're not going to represent the school well. Could your child be billboard worthy? That's who gets the money.
That's good.
And so how I got my full ride, true story. See, I'm not that great I'm not an A student. I'm a B student.
Yeah.
But I'm a B with a lot of activities.
Right.
So my B got me my full ride because I came from college as the class president, the citywide representative president, that I was in high school doing everything.
Report. You had you could have a score, but what's on your report almost.
Is
you
it
had
a thick file or a thin file, right?
Yeah.
And I came heavy in the school, and then I was so bored at college, I joined everything there.
Yeah.
And my first semester, I got a 3.8. I took easy classes. Don't think I'm that smart. And they're like, you came from here? You're doing this? I outbeat the girl that had a 4.0, but she wasn't a part of nothing.
Yeah, where you get the work ethic from though? Because you work so hard. Like where did you develop this?
Oh, I'm just
because your mom don't work, right?
Well, she did. Okay. So no. So that's where it is.
Yeah, like where did you get this?
So my grandma, out of 7 kids from South Carolina, got voted to be the college student. This was no financial aid at the time. My grandmother was voted by her sisters and brothers to be the one to go to college.
Out of the kids,
out of all 7.
Yeah.
He said, I only got enough money saved to send one of you to college. You guys have to vote. They said Francis. That was her nickname. Yeah. And I said,
meaning
Grandma,
that's your grandma.
My grandma.
Got it.
I said, Grandma, why they vote you? She said, because I always applied myself. And true story.
Yeah.
She said, I knew I didn't want to pick cotton. So this is right when it became legal to stop. Well, I hate to say slavery, but now they're able to get paid little monies.
Yeah.
So I said, well, Grandma, I was like, so she was like, I was an A student because the A student kept me out the fields. I would tell them I need to study. So then they went in the fields. And I was like, oh. So she got picked to go to college. She graduated from college. So she set the tone for my family, her immediate bloodline. And my grandma, since I was little, she always say, you never misunderstood her. In her house, you either had to go to college or the military. And if you don't do either one, you cannot get her support.
Wow.
And my grandma was the first person I know that had an American Express card.
Wow.
So we always knew grandma will help us with anything if we help ourselves. So, and I never forget, one time I was going to leave college because I like money. Yeah. I said, Grandma, I'm going to take a semester off. I'm gonna just work here. She said, baby, where would you live?
Dang.
I'll be right back. I had to call the school back like I was joking. My grandma said,
yo,
I wanted to work.
You know you wasn't going to be living here.
I was working at Sears in college, and every week I was making $2,000.
You were selling something.
I was selling.
Yeah.
I like sales. Yeah. So she said, that's cool, but where would you live?
Wow.
So thank you, Grandma, for sending me back to college.
She's still alive?
No, she passed.
Sorry
she passed. But she always told me how proud of me she was. And I felt like I always just did it for her because she set that excellence really high from the very beginning. Yeah. She only co-signed a car for me because I was 19 making $3,000 a month. I mean, I always made some money, Neo. Yeah. And also, I don't like to ask people for anything. So if I ever ask you for something in life, you got to know I must trust you because I don't ask. Right. And then the last thing is my mom, she created the special education curriculum for the city of Philadelphia. So my mom's overachiever in her own way too. She just wasn't social. Right. And my mom also instilled in me, I don't know if it was fear or what, but I always wanted to impress her because, and I just was telling somebody the story earlier, my mom and I, we only had a 1-bedroom growing up. A lot of people don't know, my mom always gave me the bedroom. She slept on a sofa mattress, a sofa bed, her whole time with me. Yeah. She always just said, you should have a room. As long as you keep your grades up, you'll always have your own room. Wow. I know that sounds like whatever, but she only put us in a 1-bedroom because she wanted to put us in the best neighborhood with a pool and kids were nice and no bullying. And but in hindsight, I thought everybody mom did slept pool. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So now she did whatever she wanted.
What did you think of that then? Did you just thought was right? What do you think?
I understood sacrifice. So it was a level of me that understood my mom's sacrifice for me, but I didn't understand how much she sacrificed to me now that I'm older. I would never sleep on a sofa bed. I don't know. I ain't gonna say I would never, but she did it for me because that had the best school district, that had the pool, that had the kids that were nice, upper middle class, right? So now she can get whatever she wants from me. I might talk trash, but she gonna get whatever because she did whatever she had to do for me at that time.
Yo, I've had the privilege to help hundreds and hundreds of people all around the world open up their own profitable event spaces utilizing my signature formula. Number one, how to find a space. Number two, how to fund the space, and how to automate the space. I've been in Atlanta, Georgia now living for 2 years. My spaces are still in Philadelphia operating, doing extremely well because we use the same exact formula that I break down, right? If you're interested in learning how we can help you, I want you to go to eventsspacesecrets.com, watch a training or book a call with our team to see if you are a good fit. Again, this is for you specifically if you're looking for other ways to leverage your money and turn that into other streams of income, right? I don't believe there's a better time than right now for you to get tapped into the information in the game that can help you. So again, go to eventsspacesecrets.com, watch the training or book a call with our team to see if you're a good fit for this opportunity. Let's go. I want to switch gears a little bit. So, I mean, the world we talk about it, but you was literally one of my first 7-figure clients who went out there
Might
and
be the first.
yeah, literally.
No, I might
at least top
actually be.
3.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but
I don't know who hit that first.
Yeah, but you went
From the
crazy.
numbers, yeah.
How did you know this was going? Walk me through the profitability of this business you built. Like how did you know
gave me
it was
another
gonna
million. Okay, so Neo really has contributed to the $1 million success in just so many ways. Like the episode in itself, right? Of just gems I could lay out for people. And being a good student of yours was important to me. If I've never said that to you, I never wanted to take from you because remember, I always felt like I needed to add to you with time because I didn't have no money. Let's be very clear, y'all. I just want to stress that. Like this wasn't that. And also, it was important to me to respect you when you got to a certain. I gotta tell this last part. Yeah. So, and I want to answer your question. It was a point, y'all, where. I don't want to say it like this, but he stopped answering my calls. Can y'all believe it? Water. So long story short, I said, why don't be answering like that? Not because he didn't want to. You didn't have time. Mm-hmm. And this is why I had to say to you, I had to apologize to you. I said, I didn't respect that he had went to another level. Mm. What you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You just always Neo to me, Mm-hmm. But you're Nehemiah to everybody. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I gotta adjust me. It ain't him. He didn't change up. And you had a mentorship, right? Yep. And that was heavy.
Yeah. I think it was like $35K at the time or something crazy. Yeah.
Let's just take a moment for my bank account, y'all.
Yeah.
I still remember that day. I remember it was a wire. It was my first wire life. Yeah. Like, why couldn't we have tried with like $100? You know? Yeah. So the fact to see $35,000 leave the account. Yeah. You just don't feel that the same way that day. I don't care what nobody say. These people be frauding. Like, when you said $35K, something leaves on the inside. And you put that dog in me. Yeah. I'm going to get that back.
Facts.
I got it back.
Well, that's a fact.
But I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
And also, no, I didn't sleep. I don't care what y'all talking about. It put me back in that $300 a day mode. Yeah. And then, I needed that because I was starting to get complacent with what I was earning at the time. Also, what did you do? You brought that Lambo to Miami.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. I tell that story.
He brought an extra car. You do realize that in theory. Yeah. I'm like, why you got an extra car here? Yeah. He like, just drive it. Just take it over, get some breakfast with us. Yeah. Casual, y'all. Yeah. Thank God for your casualness about
red
luxury.
Insides.
I got it. I said, oh, I need this. Yeah. I didn't know I needed till I need it. I am a girl that loves cars. Long story short, I never forget. I went over that bridge in Miami, and I let it open. And you was like, if you really serious, Sonia, you'll get one in a year. Remember?
Yep.
No, I'm getting in 30 days.
Yep.
You was like, no, impossible.
Yeah.
And I love when people tell me something impossible, and I got it in 30 days.
That was crazy. And I thought it was 3 months, so that was fast.
No.
But I personally knew what I was doing because you're money motivated. I'm money motivated. Yeah. Like there's people.
You put me on my first PJ.
Right.
Then I charted my own PJ. And I hope people don't miss the lesson us talking about like fun luxury stuff because it's just luxury, y'all. It's just items. Experience. Even if you would have put me on my first class seat, it would have been experience because these days you have to appreciate the person that cares enough to expose you. Yeah. You've never been on just you. Yeah. you wouldn't be who you are, and people wouldn't love you how they love you if you was just on you.
100%.
You told and you stretched me, because I'm also, as money motivated as I am, I'm also money conscious in a lot of ways.
Yep.
Like, the reports say the money recession, like, you know,
Yeah.
and you don't live like that. I don't know how you live now, but I know you couldn't think like that, and
Yeah.
you made me not think like that, and I have appreciation for that.
Like, we got to go get it.
Yeah, he was like,
no matter
turn
what's
TV off.
happening in the times. Nah, real rap. Like, yeah, hair is slow for you. I heard, but we got to go get it still.
Neo does not subscribe to anything negative, and I really appreciate that about you. And also, I also do extra prayers for you, because I'm like, well, did he just see that the country he about to go to? They just had 10 hurricanes. The hurricane will clear when I arrive.
Right.
And he's so convicted about his thoughts.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I've never met anybody like you that's so convicted about. Where'd you get that from?
I don't know. I was reading, man, like, people don't know, like, I spent 5 to 7 years hardcore on personal development.
You did.
Think and Grow Rich, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
You would actually go through affirmations.
Yeah, affirmations.
I also, you know, how you tell people to write something 100 times.
Yeah.
My hand started hurting at 20.
Yeah.
But you actually wrote it.
Yeah, I will write it. Yeah, and now I just repeat it. Look on my phone. When I look at my phone, it says everything is working for my highest and greatest good. Every time I say, I gotta say it 10 times to myself.
I'm gonna give you something somebody just gave me at a conference recently. If somebody say, "How's your day going?" How do you answer?
Right now, I say pretty good. But I heard, what should I say?
It's the best day of my life.
Yeah, see, I like that.
When he broke that down,
I like that.
I said, "Oh my God, I'm taking it immediately." I really want somebody to ask me again, "How's my day?"
How's your day
going? The best
going?
day of my life. And the way he
When
said
they
it
say
was
why,
such,
when they say why, what you gonna say?
he said, because we don't know if this is the last day. We don't know. We're telling God that this is the best day. He said there's so much power in you believing this is the best day, that every day turns out to be the best day because you said it was the best day.
That's
and
good.
that is.
And it takes the same amount of effort to say it's good.
You want to trick everybody around you too.
Yeah. Now they
it's her best day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure. Phenomenal, man.
Yeah, ask me one time so I'm gonna practice again.
How was your day going today?
It's the best day of my life.
Yeah.
And then it make you feel different, like, what's going on with her?
Yeah, let me get on my stuff.
Yeah, why it's not my best? I gotta make it and that's what it should do for people. Yeah. Anyway, that was just a good little.
No, that was good. I appreciate that. So for you, when you decide, like, how
we know it's profitable.
Yeah, how you know it's profitable,
that's
right?
the point. I gotta answer that.
And then I want you to know how, when someone else is starting something, how do I know this is the right thing I should pursue?
I gave it 120%. I didn't do anything else. And remember, you used to say this. You stopped saying it years ago. Thank you. He used to say to me, and I mean, it would piss me off, y'all. I don't know, like, you still able to be like brought out and go back to a job? Like, you remember what you said? You used to say, I don't really know. Like, and you wasn't even trying to be shady at one point. You still might work for somebody at one point. Like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yo, he's really bothering me. Yeah. And I remember accountability. I said, because I'm showing up like I still might go back to work. And I remember you stopped saying it when I stopped showing up differently. Yeah. I showed up differently. I was like,
and I think it might have been a time because so many people say they're going to go all in and they're not all in.
And at that time, people were dropping around us like flies.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So long story short, how did I know this was profitable was because when I created this thing from scratch, I created it within the realm of what I knew I could do and do well. See, I don't do stuff I don't know I'm going to be 100% at because I don't like to fail. Yeah. I know I can sell. I know I like people. I know I like to study and be knowledgeable.
You build teams and everything, though.
Well, building, I just think,
build
I think God is the greatest, orchestrator. Like, if we was to really had more time to build out my life and how I was like running conversations of 100 to 200 people. Shout out to Enoch Tabernacle Baptist Church in Philly. Like, I was in a boot camp before this business, right? Helping you, seeing you, like working with you was like being behind the scenes, volunteering with Eric Thomas for a year, going around the city, seeing how he puts conferences together. I feel like I had the greatest unpaid mentorship.
People don't be catching that. That's how you really come up.
Let me say that again. You said, how did somebody, what was the question you said?
Know if it's profitable? Yeah.
Because nobody else, until for what I just created, rivaled me.
Right. Facts.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Now, it was a couple people.
Yeah. But they wasn't you.
Yeah. They tried to play with it. One girl said, yo, how you do it? She said, you talk every day relentlessly about student loans. You not bored?
You know what else is crazy though? When I think about it, you had a lot of employees. I never seen none of them come try it either though.
No.
I don't know if it's in the paperwork
What is in
that
the
you.
paperwork?
That might be why.
No. Also, I treat my team good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether you hear or not, you gonna talk about how you ain't not get paid.
Yeah.
Contractors was getting paid and do get paid $50 an hour.
Yeah.
Like where they do that at?
Yeah.
Like people don't really want to pay people these days.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miley Till when I first was around.
That was your girl right there.
Yeah, I love Miley. I still love her.
Yeah.
And I said
She had what's her hair company or something?
Yeah.
What's it called? A Good or Malik? What was her company
Curlbox.
called? Curlbox. Yeah, that's what it was.
But I didn't know her from
She still got
Curlbox.
that
I knew
company?
her from her first podcast, and she has revamped it. Shout out to you, girl. And I said to her at one of her events, I don't know if she remembers this, but I remember it because I just think she's so amazing. I said, how do you get people to work for you? Like, how do you? I said, I feel like I should get some interns, some volunteers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay them good. She like walked off.
Dang. That was the game.
Well,
That's
that
all
was
you
it.
needed. Yep.
And that's it. Pay people and
Yeah.
pay them well. They will stay with you. They will be loyal to you. And also work with people that's money motivated like you are. There's nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot work with people if you a dog and you like to get goals, and you cannot work with people that are not able to take that type of feedback and do the same.
Yeah.
So shout out to my amazing team. A lot of them have been with me 5 years plus. The new people have jumped right in. They're not even really new at this point. Nobody's newer than going on 2 years. So I keep people because I keep people.
Yeah.
Like if something happened to you, I'm there. Something happened to your family, they getting flowers. Like we want to show up. And I learned that from when I was back in the corporate environment. One of my team members, family member diagnosed with cancer. I don't even know the sister like that. I'm flowers is at the door next day because I care, because whatever is happening outside of here, it's going to show up here if we're not mindful.
100%.
I mean, I care about the kids.
Yeah.
I don't have kids. I don't care about your kids. Like, I think I'm going to have to do this and this, and my hours might have to look like, I mean, I could be so flexible. Like, well, can you work from like 11 to 1? Let's take a break because he now needs help with this class. Can you come back on at 3? Who do that?
Yeah.
Nobody does that these days.
Yeah.
That's the power
Being
of working
thoughtful.
with small businesses, and particularly, I think as a Black woman, my greatest gift is empathy.
Yeah.
Because as a Black woman, it is not easy in a working field trying to make a livable wage, 6 figures, whatever you want to say. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, do we finish that? How it's profitable or no?
It's profitable
Because I do want to
yeah.
say something else though, because I want you to. But a thing that we start that's been overlooked is one way to make it profitable is do what you just said with your team. That's culture.
Culture.
Because they'll go run through a brick wall
Yeah.
for you when
And
you
this
build.
is my first year. I'm taking them out the country in a few months.
That's nice. Where you taking them?
We're going to Mexico.
That's gonna be fire.
Tequila.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they drink. That's
Yeah.
the even more funnier part.
How many people you gonna take?
It's gonna be 6 of us total.
Nice.
6 of us are going.
Yeah.
How
How you decide on who the 6 people are?
The coaches.
Okay.
The coaches.
Do you got to be with you for a certain long?
No.
So if you just join,
We don't even have that type of everybody working right now.
okay.
Everybody working.
So if somebody come in right now and they ain't here for 3 months, they
I'm not
going?
hired right now, but
Okay.
if I was, I would be fair.
Okay,
Because
got
the
it.
thing is, the expectation is we work. And we don't even know. It's so crazy. The brand is changing in such a crazy way. We're talking to high officials. We're talking to judges. We're talking, you got to be your best. Let me repeat that. Averaging 50 an hour. We got time to be our best.
Yeah. And they also say you can. I don't know if Darius Daniel said you can't be your best by yourself. Well, no.
No, I never wanted to do this by myself.
Yeah.
And I think I told you that from how I built this from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I never played with like a Gmail email. I never played with spreadsheets or not spreadsheets, notebooks. Everything was created with systems and what I could afford from the beginning. And as I got more money, I upgraded systems because I knew that automation was going to be key. I knew that process was going to be key. Shout out to Khadijah. I had to hire her and invest with her. I need real HR. I need real policies and procedures. I need manuals. And these things are important because you want to make big money, you got to play big.
Yeah.
And then for a while,
You always play big, I feel like, with your brand, though.
with my brand, yes, but sometimes not with me, right? It's a whole nother conversation for another day. And I was just like, yo, this is getting weird. And I just want to say this, whoever's starting a business, like, just be the version that you want people to see.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to start showing up as.
Yeah. Let me ask you, before we get out of here, there's a few things. I want you to give this business owner right here some marketing tips for visibility. Like we got business owners on here, all walks of life. You have gotten pretty great at marketing, being able to sell virtually.
I'm consistent.
With communicate. Yeah, that's one thing you are.
Nobody's gonna outbeat me when I'm in my bag. Like there's times where I'll take a lull, but I'm gonna take a lull, like a rest period.
Okay.
You're not gonna beat me on IG Live. Like, and I'm gonna go when nobody else wants to go. I think I said this to you before. I literally watch when Neo ends or a few others in. They gotta go home. No, you actually a little extreme. I can't use you.
Yeah.
Because when you in your bag, you in your bag. I know when you on one.
Yeah.
But in general, most people in their lives like 9 to the clock. All right, guys, good night.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, time.
Yeah.
I'm on at midnight.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
And I'm with hundreds of people.
Yep.
Nobody's on. It's just me.
Yeah.
And I'm live.
Yeah.
I got it to the point where I train people to see you at midnight. See you tomorrow.
And I'm gonna sell you something.
Most times.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
There's
sometimes
nothing
I
wrong
don't
with
gotta
that,
buy.
though. Yeah.
But my thing is, they said, why you keep going at midnight? I said, oh, guys, it's crazy. My market in the West Coast has grown. And it has.
Yeah.
And it's grown because of that, and all jokes aside. Remember, who's most likely now to come on?
People on the West Coast.
Yeah.
100%.
So I was like, yo, why are we getting all these
'Cause
clients?
it's
I'm
9
up at
p.m. here.
midnight.
Yeah.
So, okay, now I'm going to be consistent with Zoom classes, text messaging, right? I'm going to be consistent with, so I know what I'm great at being consistent with from a marketing standpoint. And I'm going to build community. I really want to notice, like when I'm on Zoom with my tribe, I want cameras on. It's okay, y'all. Hey, y'all, rollers on. Hey, Neo. Everybody type, hey, King. Now, men got to keep coming back because they want to be called King today.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shout out to Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara changes her wigs.
Yeah.
And Miss Barbara, is that a new wig? Yes, baby, it's a new one. Don't Miss Barbara look good? Tell her she look good, y'all. See, we have to get to know our community because that's all we have. We're not in person with people where we can really give hugs and really give. So I believe culture is so important, even in your own business.
I remember you told me about the hug. Was that at Dave Ramsey? They gave you hugs, made you feel welcome.
Like real hugs.
You went to a conference and you said they was hugging you, make you feel very welcome.
Shout out to Dave Ramsey. Oh my God. They gave hugs coming off the escalator.
Yeah.
You move to get to the snack bar, it's a hug. This is before COVID, by the way. Hugs. I don't know what they're doing after COVID. I would love to go to see. Hugs.
Have you listened to the episode with him and Hormozy? Have you listened to the episode with him and Hormozy?
No.
You gotta listen to that one.
I will.
That joint crazy. He doing like $300 million a year.
Who? Dave?
Ramsey.
I believe you. 300 million?
300 million.
I believe you.
Yeah, it's 300 or 100.
Dave
Either way,
was
it's
the first person that found personalities to duplicate him.
Yeah.
And I always loved his approach. Now, you might be indifferent with what he teach.
Yeah.
But that culture is strong.
100%.
Ooh, they drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And
that's where Anthony O'Neill was at.
He's part of the culture.
Now he's doing his own thing, going crazy.
Now, whether you leave or you stay, you're going to learn something.
1,000%.
Oh, culture.
I mean, I think every job you should work, it should be not just money. You should be learning something. I'm not working a job anywhere unless I'm learning something.
Right.
Anywhere. I don't care where it's at. I'm picking something up.
But you also had the vision that you were going to use it for something. And 100%. Some people are idle in their life. Do you know that there's some people that don't know the day's agenda before they get up?
Yeah, today's agenda, you said.
Their agenda, their daily 100%. Agenda. They just operate.
Yeah.
And that's a scary place to be. You're on nomad mode.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do we? And I don't think that's this.
I remember when I was on nomad mode at one point. You're like, yo, what you gonna make that? I'm like, I don't know. And then I got back into my
concerned.
Yeah, I was chilling.
I remember.
I was in the chill spot.
The money was just. It was good.
And then I started hustling again after that. I'm
something
like,
changed
right.
for you. Something kicked you back in a high gear.
That was.
I
think it was that conversation. I
said, yeah, you're
right.
I had to hang up.
Yeah, I was on some bull crap.
Now,
yeah.
Y'all know it's bad if I hang up first.
Yeah, it was bad.
You was like, so. That's what we say. Yeah. So I'm just.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I said, let me call you back because I was scared. Like,
yeah.
I didn't want that.
And that's that energy. Don't rub off on me.
I think it could come through the phone.
Yeah, people don't know that's how important that energy is.
You don't even let people call you with certain stuff.
No, heck.
I think you're really getting better at guarding your phone.
Hear no bull crap. Yeah.
But I will say this, just for anybody watching us, I know we just bounced around this episode because it really is like catching up with you. You're just one of my greatest friends.
Yeah.
I think that if I could install in someone watching this episode, yeah, we got on the student loans and all that, but you really are watching two pitbulls. I'm just one with a skirt that was going to get out.
100%.
Like, we from Philly.
Facts.
Shout out to Philly.
Yeah.
And I don't care what nobody say about Philly.
Yeah.
I think the greatest entrepreneurs come out of there because nobody want to go back.
That's a
or
fact.
you want to change the situation of your city.
Yeah.
Or you just like, we get excited when people say they moved, right?
Yeah.
Or we get excited when we see people doing give backs.
You ever thought you was going? I didn't think I was going to move when I was on the comp. Like, I'm going to fix this place.
I knew you was gonna move.
Yeah, I had to get out of
No,
that.
you started
joint.
getting antsy.
Yeah.
You are a travel bug.
Yeah.
So it was no reason for you to really be planted to the
I also
city.
feel like I stopped hanging. I wasn't around people that was just getting it, and I think
was so
you're in
happy
a
when we moved to
dangerous
Atlanta.
place.
I was sad.
Yeah.
I felt like I lost my favorite teddy bear. I'm
Yeah,
like, you
yeah,
all right out there?
yeah.
But I was also very happy for you because I felt like it was, you could feel like you were busting at the seams for more. I really felt that from you.
Yeah,
and I'm so
100%.
grateful that your wife and your mom and everybody supported the vision.
Yep.
You know, especially your wife. She was fiance
Here's
at
a
the time,
problem,
maybe.
man. You can't be around me if you don't support the vision.
Well, I mean, we know that now,
Yeah.
but at the time,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and I remember I kept her in prayer. I said,
Yeah.
she got to get with her. She got to go too, you know, because
Yeah.
it was such a cutthroat. But she moved with the plan.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to tell this last story.
Yeah.
It's my favorite story. We were traveling from somewhere, maybe it was Atlanta, and we're going back to the city, and we get back, and Vina says, I've been practicing your oatmeal. Remember this is my story?
Yeah. Cream of wheat.
Cream of wheat.
Yeah.
There you go. And I said, you doing what? She said, I've been practicing his cream of wheat. Serious.
Yeah.
I said, why? She said, I want to get it like his grandma.
Yeah.
And I said,
My mom.
why? Was your mom or your
Yeah,
grandma?
my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah.
I said, why? I just
Yeah.
kept saying, why?
Yeah.
She said, I perfected. She said, I knew she had that dog in her. Listen to this, and that's different. She said, I just make it several times when he's going.
Yeah.
I said, you serious? Like,
Yeah.
I'm leaning in at this point. I
Yeah.
said, you been at home making some damn cream of wheat.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Y'all missing the part of the story here. She cared to perfect it for you so much. I knew she was for you.
Yeah.
I remember
She
I
still
called
do
you.
that too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
called
it's
you. I
crazy.
said, you never want to let this one go. I don't
Yeah.
care what you do.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money you think you about to make. I
Yeah.
said, she is home practicing cream of wheat.
Yeah.
No, like, you know. And I was just so excited for you that you had somebody that cared to practice cream of, because it mattered for you. So when you got back, you could arrive to a perfection of cream of wheat.
Yeah.
And I know that don't sound like a lot, but
Yeah.
that's major.
Oh, and that's how she is now. Like, you know, we vegan that, well, she's vegan.
You still,
I'm 11 months, no meat, fish, or seafood.
okay.
And so she ordered a vegan cookbook. It's certain things I like. She go figure
Yeah.
that crap out.
That's her
And then it be
superpower.
right.
Yeah,
it's just
that's
been
always
weeks.
been her super.
Yeah.
So why is this important? Because I think that Neo, and people have to learn this about you. You are you.
Mm-hmm.
The world will conform,
Facts.
or they will be out.
that's a
And I
fact.
didn't know. I'm not even special about that. I will conform to my highest level to still be around you.
Yeah.
You could love me all day, but I would still be in Philly.
Yeah, if you want some bull crap.
Yeah,
it
you
ain't
have to
nothing
leave 'em.
personal.
You left a few people.
Man, I
I don't even talk to him no more.
Yeah, facts. You
I
ain't
was like-
going to either.
And I'm like, I
on
think
that
trying
bull
to get me with
crap.
a new number. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, man, people crazy.
The reality is,
And my number didn't change either. It's just I
No,
don't
it
answer
changed
certain
it up,
numbers.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. And I'd be like, I'm like, you know, and if
My
I
number
can't,
the same from Philly, both of them.
Yeah.
If you got my numbers, you still got them. It just might don't
might
be
not-
an answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I said to these people, and just in general, but did you change? See, people don't like that. That's a hard introspection.
That's good.
Because
Did you change?
now the conversation ain't going to be the same. Nobody's interested in what they were interested
Heck
in
no.
7 years ago.
I can't be talking about no bull crap.
No.
People be calling me on some nonsense, man. I
No.
ain't got the time for no nonsense. And then my thing is, bro, I've been telling you about doing these same things for you. How much? I don't got time to keep talking you into something.
Well, thank you. You told me to do the ebook. Remember?
Yeah.
That was a nice million.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you, he ain't never leave me wrong. I'll tell you right now. And I remember I used to, this is it. This is how I know when he's serious. He was like, I ain't going to tell you again.
Yeah.
And like, hang up. And
Who you talking
I
to?
said, go make this ebook.
Yeah.
Drops.
Yep, and we're crazy.
I'm still not really sure how those ebooks made what it made. I know, I'm sure. Because I taught relentlessly off of those ebooks.
Yeah.
I'm going to run it back soon.
Yep.
I'm a teacher.
I remember when you did your challenge.
Oh,
that was a $5 challenge. That went crazy.
The Savage Challenge.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
the song came out on the radio.
That was powerful.
It's COVID. I had to make a fake
and
photo shoot.
I think people should. It's called trend surfing. Like just, it's a lot of money made when a trend happens and you just hop on top of it.
If I can be a part of something that is aligned, I want to be on it.
Yeah.
And I know if it's positive. And when that song came out, I wanted you, when you heard her song, to think about your credit. Are you bougie or are you ratchet?
Yeah.
And it was a motivator.
Yeah.
I still can't hear that song the same way to this day. It makes me think about those times.
Yeah.
So, I just think that, Neo, I always say I give you your flowers publicly, even privately. I just think that, like, if we don't have a friend like you to level us up, most people are not going to be blessed to have a friend like you. Let me say it that way. So I always appreciate you. And I always say, and I'm still hold me to this. I still say this to you as I have said for others. There will be a point, and it could be this year, where I can put you in a position that you couldn't have made it to if it wasn't for our relationship. I think about that for you. Just like 2 or 3 people I feel that way about, like you on my list of this got to be the opportunity. Like, and I know that sounds weird to some people, but I have that much admiration for you. And I'm grateful that I didn't blow it off. I think I overdrafted to go see ET that day. Like, I mean,
it was worth the overdraft.
I was in the nosebleeds.
Same. Derek Boone did the same thing.
He did.
Yeah, Boone going. He's another one that went doing this thing. I just got to get him out of Philly now. I think he in Jersey now. I think.
Well, just out the area.
Yeah, out the area. Environment is everything.
He comes. He's mobile.
He come here as often. Yeah.
He will be here soon.
Yeah. He got a fan. He got kids.
He got to move it.
Yeah.
Well, everybody got to be on board.
Yeah.
He will make more here.
1,000. I promise you.
Oh.
Look, sometimes I call y'all. I'm in Philly for 2 weeks. I'm like, if you don't get out of there, but I know you got your man. You got your mom there. So
Philly for me is because my mom is not trying to go nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know why my mom's still in there chilling.
Your mom likes Philly in the capacity.
Yeah.
Also, but your mom gotta have her life.
100%.
And I think the thing is, and I don't want people to mistake what we're saying either about home.
Yeah.
Home is good for visiting.
Yeah. That's it. 100%.
If you're not careful, you could readapt the culture.
Fast.
Yeah.
You stay there long enough.
You feel angry back driving again.
Yep.
You might get the calls and somebody know you in town.
Yep.
When I was there recently, nobody knew I was there.
That's good.
I don't want you. I can't come.
That's how you move in and out.
Yeah, I can't come.
Yeah.
So
are you still going to events when you go back?
Events there?
People even have events?
I'm gonna have to say I think so. The thing is, I don't know.
Right.
I don't want to be invited.
Right. I'm in and out. Yeah, that's good.
No, it's no need for me to be invited in that capacity because also there's a thing that people in our city do, and this happens in a lot of cities. We're not, you're not going to make me feel bad for growing. Because then you're going to make me be when I'm not. I'm not mean. I'm very pleasant.
Yeah.
But I will switch if you switch. Like, them underhand comments.
Yeah.
I'm not good with them for too many.
Yeah.
I might could take 2 in the chin.
Yeah.
But that third one, we're going to make it rock. And then I forget who I became.
Yeah.
You have to be careful when people try to pull you back.
Yeah.
You done left.
Yeah.
And family do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, nah, you can't take me back to that place.
100%.
But if I care about you, and I do, I will show you how to get your own.
Yeah.
Now you can't blow me off and then call me back 10 years later.
Speaking of that, you showing people now, and maybe we'll bring you back part 2. You showing people now how to build their own student loan companies.
Yeah. It's crazy. The mentorship is kicking off. We did our first round. I know we're going to do another one.
Yep.
The one you and I would love us to flesh that out all the way. Like, it's going to go crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Because you got your own way of adding your 10x of, how you do stuff.
So we gotta come do a whole episode talking about that, building that out.
I need help.
Yeah.
As in my mission.
Yeah. How many people? You said 46 million
people have student loans.
I would think it's more than that. 46 million out of 8 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That don't sound crazy. Well, it's still crazy, but I'm saying
$3 trillion. Oh,
yeah, 3 trillion. Yeah, 3 trillion is crazy.
Right. So we need to get more experts to do more work on the front lines.
Yeah.
So our program,
do you even know 10 people doing that? 10 companies?
Well, I train 10.
Other than you train, it's
No.
not really. So it's an open opportunity for people.
Yeah, and we do it in a way that's filled with integrity, and we do it in a way that makes people want to get behind the mission and the cause. And I don't like the crab in the barrel. Like, I don't want you to be the only one in your circle that got forgiven.
Yeah.
You gotta tell others how to get this done for themselves too.
Yeah, that's
Your
good.
colleagues, your coworkers. Yeah. Like, can you just imagine if we could just get the people that follow us, connect with us, debt free in a sense?
Yeah, that's powerful.
Oh my goodness, their world would go upside down.
It changes everything. It's like living for free. It's like you get a section, you move in a property, it's 3 units, you live in one and the tenants pay. It just, if you can live for free, it changes, and it gives you a sense of freedom.
I mean, I'm so excited. Like, literally every day is my best day, especially in this last year.
Yeah.
Because the impact over our community has gotten over, that we know, 50 million forgiven.
Wow.
And, I wake up every day to 2 or 3 because
50
of
million
you.
forgiven. Wow.
Yeah, every day I wake up to 2 to 3 men. It's really hard to have a bad day in my world.
Yeah.
Sonia, because of you, I got 300,000 forgiven. Girl, I stayed on those classes at night with you.
Wow.
And And I ain't even doing nothing deep. I'm like, this how you fill the form.
Yeah.
Now, I know that sounds radical, right?
Yeah.
Nobody talks to you about how to fill out the forms.
100%. Why would they though?
Whose job is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, why would the government want you to know this?
Well, I mean, they have resources, but can you call somebody right now and ask? I want to ask a question about box number 3, because guess what? If you fill out box number 3 wrong, everything gets thrown out.
Wow.
So you got to have somebody like us.
So you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, man, we got something dope coming soon. I'm going to put the link in the description. It may be a wait list. It may be live, but whatever it is, get ready for it and get ready for part 2. Sonia, let everybody know how to connect with you.
Instagram's our favorite place in the whole wide world, the Student Loan Doctor. Our website, drpleasehelpme.com. I don't know. Google it. If it shows up looking like me, it's us. I don't know. We just are in a good place to where we are so passionate about loan forgiveness and just getting people debt free. It's not hard to find us if you just put in the Student Loan Doctor. We're going to come up on something, and just tap in.
Let's get it, y'all. We'll see you guys on the next show. Peace.